Ciao, beautiful women. I'm Samantha, and in this video, I'm going to guide you through a very simple, easy breast massage practice. Now, as you read in the notes, our breasts hold so much energy, tension, projection, toxins, and to give attention to our breasts as a form of nourishment, love, compassion, and sensuality and embodiment is a way for us to not just connect to ourself in a very sacred center of ourself, but also to reclaim it. And reclaiming the center of our bodies, the center of so much projection from the outer world that oftentimes, at least I know for myself in my own journey, that I've been very disconnected from my breasts. And I can see this through actually, the changes in my personal cycle as an example. So whether you still have a cycle or not, our systems as women run through the lunar cycle. We have the infraradian rhythm as well as a circadian rhythm, right? The 24-hour clock and the lunar clock, in a way, if you, we could say, right? So our kind of 28-day cycle. So whether we are menstruating or whether we're going through a cycle in which we're, in premenopause or menopause, postmenopause, we are still women that move with the cycles. And I noticed that my breasts reflect this very significantly, dependent on which stage I am in my lunar cycle. So I tend to hold a lot of tension, a lot of weight in my breast, especially in my luteal phase, especially, like pre-menstruation, but also when I have a lot of stress. And maybe if I haven't been moving my body a lot, because we hold a lot of lymph, right? Lymph in our breast as well. And so a breast massage helps to promote circulation in the lymph nodes and help assist for lymphatic drainage, as well as, releasing some of that stored tension, connecting us to our own sacred center, our own body, and reclaiming this space as a space for us, for our own sensuality, for our own pleasure. If you're a mother or you've been a mother, if you've ever breastfed in your life, then it feels like this part of your body becomes a source of nourishment for your new extension of you, right? And so we lose that connection of actually my breasts are here for my pleasure as well. And, as in addition to that, obviously what culture has shown us, right, or has kind of conditioned us to believe about our breast, whether we conceal them in fear of being gazed upon, or whether we, feel we need to expose them in fear of, not being sexy enough or wanting to be seen, whatever it might be, those conditions around the associations we hold in our bodies and in our psychologies around what our breasts represent and how we how we stay with that in a really deep, intentional, authentic way that allows us to feel, connect, and express the aliveness of our breasts. And so my invitation for you here, of course, anything that I say, it doesn't have to resonate with you if it doesn't, again, take what works and leave the rest. Take what works and feels in alignment for you and leave the rest. So for this practice, I invite you to, you can do it at first with your clothing, on if you wish. I do recommend clothing off and just having, your bare breasts so you can use. So I really love, if you're in the US, I can't get this now because I'm in Italia, but whenever I'm in the US, I love this oil. It's everyday oil, and it is fantastic. It's infused with several different oils like olive, coconut, jojoba, castor, argan, and then it has lavender, geranium, sage, palo santo. So if you have any you can also make it so easily, a nice massaging oil for your skin. I use this every day as a breast oil, as well as a full body oil. So there's that. You can also use just plain jojoba oil. Jojoba oil is really, really nice because it doesn't clog pores. Not that you're gonna have a lot of that but it's another everyday oil as well. Or a simple coconut oil works fantastic. I actually think coconut oil is the best lube. So using in sex with yourself or with partners, as well as a breast oil massage, because it's actually antimicrobial. So I don't personally recommend using lubrications, especially if they're not natural, because it can definitely impact our vaginal pH. So just something to think about. And so for me, this is my personal bias. I prefer to stay with oils that are more natural. And again, you can make it yourself by just some simple base oil, like this is jojoba. You can just throw a couple drops of lavender, sage, whatever geranium, whatever feels good for you, and have that as your oil base. So I'm not going to use these oils today because I'm not going to massage my breasts on the camera, but I just wanted to have them and explain kind of what I like to use, and then feel free to kind of, go with your own pace, whatever works for you. So I invite you now to kind of close your eyes or have a soft gaze. And just take a moment to come into your body. And if you like, again, finding a comfortable space. So being seated or lying down is a nice place for this. I prefer being seated for me. So just like easier access and maneuvering. But once you find your comfortable space, just allowing your breath to soften, tracking your inhales and exhales. Maybe releasing any auditory exhale or a deep sigh, releasing any excess tension or weight into the support beneath your seat. Letting yourself fully arrive here. I invite you to just kind of rub your hands, creating some heat, some friction in your hands here. And just taking a moment to place your breath into your hands as you rub them together in this way. And placing your hands onto your breasts. And just noticing any sensation that emerges here. Allowing yourself to be with whatever comes up, if it feels tolerable for you. In this practice, I like to welcome the return of the heart, coming back to your heart, connecting with your heart, returning to the sensuality and the sacredness of your own touch. Allowing yourself to reconsider the idea that your breasts are a place of nourishment, not for others, but for yourself. A sensual expression of your divine nature as a woman, this source of empowerment, this source of power radiating from your heart or your breast. And taking a moment to stay with that. When you feel you want to come back to that friction space of rubbing your palms together, I invite you to do so. Allowing your eyes to stay gently closed as you create more heat in the palms. Rubbing your hands together and feeling the warmth. And placing your hands now back onto your breasts. And again, just noticing what you feel, noticing what emerges here. Allowing yourself to notice the temperature, the weight, any sensation here as you make contact with yourself in this space of deep connection with you. And so now we'll begin massaging in small circles, moving from the center of your chest outwards, up and around. So small circles, center of your chest, up and around. You actually have lymph all in this part of your breast, so allowing yourself to kind of massage this place and move it down and around helps release some of that static lymph, helps with lymphatic drainage. So continuing to move in circles, allowing your breath to gently guide you, maintaining the gentle closed eyes or soft gaze. And when you're ready, you're welcome to kind of slow your movements. And now we will reverse the direction, circling from down and around, coming in towards the heart. Down and around, coming in towards the heart. And moving slowly, allowing your touch again to be the connection between you, your breast, your heart space. And continuing this movement at your own rhythmic pace for a few more rounds. Allowing yourself to stay connected to your breathing. You may feel any sensations that emerge here and just allowing yourself to stay with the rhythm of your own movement, with your breath pattern. As you come to a close, just allowing your hands to remain on your breast for a moment. And now I invite you to take whatever oils you like, and just place some oils on your hands and kind of lathering them up like this, creating that friction movement. And again, coming back to that space where you can gently close your eyes and placing your hands onto your breast, tracking your breath. And moving from the center of your chest outwards, up, down, and around. And coming into circular motions with the oil. continuing at your own pace, and just allowing yourself now to still maintain connection with sensation, connection with any feelings, emotions that emerge, and allowing yourself to stay with whatever is present in you as you move with care and connection with your breast, with your heart. Continuing these movements again at your own rhythmic pace for 3 more breath cycles. And when you're ready, come back to a close and a stillness. And then we'll reverse the direction, circling from the outside of the breast towards the heart. And again, finding your own rhythmic pace with this. And you can play, I like to play with kind of pressure or different ways to kind of use the hands. So you can kind of use a bit of the knuckles. You can use the tips of the fingers. You can use the palms, really play with the different parts of your hand in contact with your breast, and allowing yourself to just kind of see what works for you as you move through these cycles. And just staying in connection with yourself, with your breast, with your heart, with any sensation that emerges here with you as you kind of play with these cycles of movement and rhythm with your breathing, with the cycles of your hands and circles with your breasts, and allowing yourself to stay with and be mindful of anything that feels good. This is not about building arousal, though that may arise. It's just about feeling and in igniting that aliveness, that presence with yourself here in this sacred center of you. And when you're ready, I invite you now to, move in any direction, or kind of maybe staying still for a moment if you're noticing any tenderness. But also I kind of get this like heaviness up here. And I just kind of stay with that and move it. But when you're draining the lymph, you want to kind of be moving in the direction, if you're going out and around, kind of towards the heart. So if you're going out and around, make sure to come back towards the heart. Kind of same if you're going the opposite direction, going towards the heart, going out. See, I'm using my palm here and around. And just making whatever last movements that you feel would be nice and good for you. And when you're ready, you're welcome to come back to wherever you are, placing your hands over your breasts. Coming back to your own rhythmic breath. Maybe inviting a deep inhale and exhaling a sigh. Maybe you're staying with yourself for a moment as you just notice anything that arises here. I'll invite you into an affirmation, just Just for a moment, staying with yourself, hands on your breasts. I honor my connection to my breasts. I honor my connection to my breasts. My breasts are a sacred source of nourishment for me. My breasts are a sacred source of nourishment for me. I accept my breasts as they are. I accept my breasts as they are. I'm just taking a moment to notice any feelings that arise here. Notice any sensations that emerge. And gently smiling to yourself inwards into your heart space as you allow for yourself to just soak up any sweetness, even any feelings that might be difficult. Allowing whatever it is that's here to be here. As you invite an inward smile to yourself and a slight bow of gratitude to taking the time to nourish you, to connect with your body, to feel yourself, to invite yourself into connection with your own sensual nature that is innate and never changing. This still place within you that is always here. When you're ready, you're welcome to come back and slightly open your eyes. And I thank you so much for joining me in this practice. I hope, or I wish for you, that it was nourishing in some way. Whatever works, take it, digest it in you, and whatever doesn't, you're welcome to leave and let go. Knowing that your body is always here for you as a temple that is completely yours to return to, that is safe for you and only for you. And then when you wish, you can invite it and share it with anyone else or anything else that you wish to. But for now, just know you can always come back to yourself as a place that is just for you. Okay, thank you so much. Ciao for now. Grazie.